So Serj Tankian has released a new EP and it's a follow-up to 2021's Elasticity. Let's see how it goes. Hi people and hello my Chili Con Carnage crew, it's Chili here for 5-minute reviews, and on this episode we're going over Serj Tankian's album Perplex Cities. So this is the second EP I have the honour to make an episode about on 5-minute reviews, and today's focus. This EP certainly is eclectic as always with Serj, but it's good to hear him doing songwriting that is, I guess, more accessible. To people out of the know, Serj is the frontman for System of a Down. You know, this guy. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? But his solo works are mostly a far cry from his works with System of a Down. I think you could somewhat compare him to, say, Jim Morrison from The Doors, in that his solo works are detached from the band that made him famous. Amongst his styles include mostly symphony or movie soundtracks in orchestral arrangements, and as I don't really follow that scene, I don't really listen to this section of his works. He has worked on the soundtracks for movies like 1915, Game of Thrones, Furious, Spitek, amongst others, and his other works include hard rock, electronic rock, and poetry pieces, as can be seen on my previous episode about the Cool Gardens Poetry Suite. This EP sees him return to a somewhat more alt-rock setting with the electronic influences and traditional instrumental arrangements. The EP is a very short affair, with 5 songs clocking in at 17 minutes and ventures into realms of pop rock, electronic, and of course traditional music as mentioned before. The first song, Pop Imperialism, certainly reminds me of the style found on his earlier works, in particular on Imperfect Harmonies, with his snarky vocal delivery of semi-abstract lyrics with somewhat religious undertones, all with an air of the electronic rock found on that album. The next song, The Race, certainly can catch you off guard with its acoustic opener and lyrics that sing out. The song does give way eventually to change to a more synth-laden track, and it's an interesting shift. It doesn't feel unnatural, and Serj flexes his musical abilities to blend these styles seamlessly here. The following track, I Spoke Up, opens up with what I believe to be a bit more of a traditional guitar instrumental, and upon first hearing this song I thought it might have to do with his Armenian heritage, but this song was actually written after Serj watched the movie The Dissident, which details the assassination of journalist, and sorry for the mispronunciation here, Jamal Khashoggi maybe? Apparently by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. And the lyrics are just on point here. In contrast, the following song, Rumi Loves His Cars, is mostly a piano excerpt that details Serj's son Rumi, who loves cars and guitars. It's a nice song and it takes a step back from the previous track. The last song, and to me the one that stands out above the others, is the track Forgive Me Father, which almost has a country sound to it within the guitars, just with somewhat funkier bass chords. The song showcases the vocal talents of Serj as he soars into high notes and screams in certain parts, and it's a great closer to this short EP. Overall, I would rate this album 3.5 million chilies on the spicy scale, with my favourite songs being I Spoke Up and Father Forgive Me. I enjoyed this EP a lot more than Cool Gardens Poetry Suite because obviously, it's musically more accessible, and not some abstruse poetry. I mean, let's face it, I'm no fan of poetry, and my views on making music to such concepts can be summed up with an eye roll, a sigh, and skepticism about the final product. You could argue that all songs are poetry, and that's a true statement, but a generalization, akin to saying that both a Kia Rio hatchback and a Ferrari SF90 are both cars. I have my styles I enjoy within music, and this EP ticks many of the boxes. I think many common fans would agree and say this album is more to their style. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, we are a small channel, and as always, you stay spicy out there. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Live Listen Erased, and if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Chili Con Carnage crew so you can get notified for all the future videos that we put out, as we put out videos every Friday. Also, we are on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter over at Live Listen Erased, so make sure to tune in over there. And don't forget to like this video so that our manager can stay very happy.